Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on our favorite Little Law YouTube channel. So today in this video, we're going to see the difference between two correlation techniques. So one is the web reg save param regular expression, and then we have another one which is web reg save param attribute. So usually we all know that how important the correlation is for any performance testing or performance engineering related tasks because we are going to handle the dynamic values that comes uh, while recording. So we are going to create or we're going to establish a session with the server through the correlation so that anytime that when we run the test, the session will be alive and it will work as recorded as planned. So that's the a glimpse about what is the correlation and why do we need to correlate it. And yeah, before we move on to this video, this is me, Vasant Shanmugam. I welcome you all to Little Star YouTube channel. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please do give a thumbs up if you like this video and share the video with your friends. And please do consider joining my channel for more informative and interesting videos like this. And in fact, if you're interested, like I'm planning to take an end-to-end video starting from the test strategy to test planning and then the effort estimation, and then going forward I will take you through the recording of scripts, the parameterization, the correlation, and then through the various load runner functions, the web functions, and then I will take you through the load test, how to do the stress test, and much more or in the plan. So if you want to watch all these, please do subscribe my channel and join my channel. And yeah, in this video, like I told you, we will see about what is the WebRed save param regular expression, and we will see what is a WebRed save param attribute. So firstly, we have two values. So in this example, I'm going to just show you two different values. So one is the J session ID, the value that we have to correlate to establish the session between the application and the server. So that's the first value that we have to correlate. And then there is another value, if you can see here in line 184, the one that I highlighted 184. So the name source page, and then we have a value for it. So this is again another value that's been established between the application and the server. So we have to correlate both of these so that we can establish the session and keep the session alive. And again, we can keep the view state valid, that if there is any changes it will be considered as a DDoS attack or some SQL injection. So to avoid all these, we have to establish the session between the server and the code. So that is the reason we have to correlate, like I told you in the beginning. And so firstly, let's correlate the J session ID value, and here is the value that we have to correlate. And let me write the WebReg save param regular expression function for you. So here in this response, in this request, we are sending this value. So that means that this value will be in the previous request. So let's go to the previous request and we will do the correlation. So this here is the previous request. So let me write the function here. So now here we have the value. So let me write the request in the previous one. So let me go back to the, yeah, I think this is the initial one. So let me come back to this part and let me start the function of this. So this is going to be WebReg underscore save param regular expression. So I'm selecting it and then let me close it. Yeah, so under this, I'm going to write the value. So firstly, let me give the parameter name for this. That's going to be J. Let me keep it the same name, J session ID, and let me I have to give a comma to separate it. And then the next part is the regular expression. So this is very important because this is how the system will understand what is the right boundary and what is the left boundary. So it's going to be J session ID. So it's very simple. So I'm going to let me just copy paste it here so that you can easily understand how does this works. So yeah, so now I'm going to remove the value. So there are like several options we can do, but this is one common technique to get this value. So yep, this is closed, and then the last one, it's ordinal equals one. So this will capture the first occurrence for me, and then finally last. So yeah, so this is the format. This is a very simple format. So you might ask me that, okay, we can use the Design Studio to do the correlation. Yes, I agree. We have the Design Studio to do the correlation, but in some scenarios, in some values, these values could not be correlated by the load runner. So in those scenarios, you should definitely learn this to see to know how to do this. And again, this, yeah, I understand in Design Studio you can do it, but what if this question has been asked to you in the interview? So you might not be able to answer it promptly. So that is the reason. Just practice it sometime. So it's very simple. WebBridge safe parameter regular expression where you're going to use the regular expression, and you're going to give just three things. So one is the parameter name, the regular expression, and the ordinal. Just this. So this will help you to get the value, right? And now let me replace the value here. It's going to be J session ID. Yep, I have correlated it. Same again here, J session ID. Yep, so we have correlated it. And now let me save and let's do a quick run and see how does it work. Yep, so coming back. Okay, I think there's some error. Let's fix it. We go back to the view, layouts, replay layout, and runtime data. So if you go to the runtime data, okay, it looks like the value is not picked or it's not fetched. Yep. So here you can see the session ID value. It shows it's a bad request. So let's fix this now. Okay. So let me just come back to the screen again. So in the replay layout, it shows it's a bad request. That means the value is not being fetched. So even if you see in the runtime data, the value is not being fetched. So what we'll do is, I think that particular value is not in the response. So that's why it's showing us the error. So what we'll do is, let me just take it to the very first request. So the reason here is I'm going to fetch the this particular value from the first request response. Okay, and let me run it now and see what happens. Yeah, so now the test went successful. Let's go to the replay layout and going to the runtime data. Okay, I think it's the value is not still fetched yet. So let's see what we can do and how to fix this. Yeah, so after making a small change, which is the semicolon to the regular expression, the value did work. So let me just do a quick run and let's see what happens. So when I run this value, and here you can see the value, which is the runtime data, and I'm able to see the J session ID value. So what did I do here? Just a quick, a small change. So it's again same thing, just three parameters. One is the parameter name, the J session ID, and the regular expression, which is J session ID equals dot star question mark and then a semicolon at the end. So that has brought the value, and then the ordinal equal to one. That's the first occurrence. So that is all about the WebBridge save parameter regular expression. Now there is another point. So here, if you see at the end of this value, so here there is this name source page or the value. So when we want to correlate this value again, like we can actually use the regular expression value in the WebRed say parameter regular expression, but still there is another one which is being designed only for this. I mean, like to extract these values which mainly are related to the HTML or any XML tag. So uh, I would say, for example, yeah. So here you can see there are like two values: the name source page and then the name FP value. So we have like values for both of these. So the function that I'm going to write now here is web reg save param attribute. Yeah, this is the function. Let me close it. Yeah, this is the function. So this is designed, or this is being used to capture dynamic data from the server's response and store in a parameter, but they're designed slightly for different purposes. So like I told you, the WebRed save param attribute is primarily used to capture data based on HTML or XML attributes and tag structures. So it works by specifying the HTML or the XML tags and attributes to define the boundaries of the data that we want to capture. Say, for example, like instead of giving a right boundary and left boundary, I'm going to give this name, which is the tag name. So by using this, so any values that come to it, we all know, like in the kind of recent language technologies, we know there's a key value pair. So this is something like that. So if any value that is being pair of this particular name, so that will be correlated or that will be taken. So it is especially useful when you're dealing with well structured HTML or XML content where the data that we need to capture is surrounded by specific tags or attributes. So now I'll show you how to correlate this value here. And let me just quickly create a script for this. So again, this is very simple. You don't need to worry about the right boundary or the left boundary. So it should start with the parameter name, and I'm going to keep the same name as the parameter name, which is going to be again the same value. So underscore source page, and then the next value is going to be the tag name, and it's going to be input. The third value is going to be extract equals value. So I'm going to extract the value. That's what I'm going to do in this parameter one, and then the name. So what is the name of this? Is name again. Yeah. And finally the value. So this is very important because this is where we're going to get the value. So I'm going to get this value, which I told you in the beginning, which is like the key value pair, and then the last. Yep. So let's run this and see. And before that, let me replace this value here. Let me get this one, and then underscore sorry source page, and this should do the magic. So let me save and run this for you. Yeah, so before I run this, I just have to make a few changes to it. So instead of name, so the source page should be the name here. So I'm changing it. So now I have the parameter name, the tag name, the extract the value, and then the name equals to source page. And yep, so I think I have, yeah, this value is enough. So instead of value, I should have changed it to name. So I have parameter name, tag name, extract is it's going to be the value, and then the name is equals to source page. And yeah, in case if I want to keep it hidden, I can keep it, but for now I think I'm good. So let's try to run this one. So it's just for attributes to extract the value. So let me just check. Yeah, so here I have the source page. So just to confirm, so I'm not going to replace it with the value, but I'm just going to replace it with the name. That's it. So it's very simple. And let me run this and let's see how does it work. Yep, it worked fine. So let's check the value again to see how does it work. Yeah, going to the runtime data. Yep, here we have got the value that's correlated. So same way, let's correlate the next value as well. So it's again very simple. So let's copy this one, the web rate save param attribute. So again, yeah, even you can do this using the design studio. But the problem here is, what if in some scenarios, what if could LoadRunner do not or cannot correlate this value, or it could not uh, co- try to find this value, record this value. So in those scenarios, this will definitely help you, and even for questioning, for answering your questions in the interviews. So like I told you, so we have like two options. One is even we can use the regular expressions to correlate this, but the web rate save param attribute will be quite faster when comparing to the regular expression in terms of the HTML and XML tags. So in this one, it's very simple. So I'm just going to change this value alone, so that will be enough, more than enough to fetch the value. So I just changed it. So the parameter name, yeah, this also should be changed. The parameter name is underscore underscore FP. Tag name is input. The extract, yes, you're going to extract the value, and then the name is FP underscore underscore FP. And then let's do a quick change here inside the brackets. And yep, we're done. Let's run this and see what happens. Yep, we are successfully able to run this. So that's the difference between how the the regular expression, web rate save pararegular expression works, and the difference between it and the I mean, again, you can ask, like, can we use it in the other way? The thing is, we cannot use the web rate save param attribute for a value like JSON ID because that does not have any tags. But we can use the regular expressions, the web saver and regular expressions for the source or the FP based on its uh, what to say the right boundary, left boundary. Yeah, in fact, I can even show you an example for that. So here I have created a regular expression parameter for the same value and I have replaced it. So what did I do is I'm giving the parameter name. It's again a new name for it and the regular expression name here. So it is like slash codes underscore underscore FP. So this one here and then another slash. So what happened here is like this matches the literal string that is name equals underscore underscore FP and this is likely part of an HTML input element. So that's the reason we went to the attributes, but still in this scenario it will work because we are like picking it as a regular expression and then here you can see the value which is the backslashes, so which is used to escape the characters in the regular expression like spaces or quotation marks. Also we make sure that the expression looks for a literal space or quotation mark and then again the value captures the value inside the value attribute. So that is what we're going to do with this one. So the value within the value attribute and this is a non-greedy capturing group that matches as few characters as possible until it finds a space which is the double slash and the question mark makes the dot. I mean we all know that's what does the dot star question mark, so which is matches any character in between the values here and then the final backslash is to make sure that the space follows the value attribute. So with that we have extracted the value and then we have got the ordinal 2. So what does this ordinal 2 indicate? So this ordinal 2 indicates that the function should capture the second occurrence of this pattern in the response, and if there are like multiple matches for this pattern in the response, this configuration there which is the ordinal 2 will ensure that the second one is stored in the parameter. And let's now run this value and see what happens with this regular expression value that we have correlated now. Yeah, and before I run, let me add two values. So, which is the search filters, where I'm going to check this value inside the body and not inside the header or inside the cookie. It's just the search is the scope of searching is inside the body, and then ignore redirections. No. So let me run this and see what happens. Yep. So now we are able to see it is successfully passed, and then going back to the replay layout. The runtime data, yep. So in the FP1, yeah, we were able to see the value here. Yeah, so that is how the regular expressions, the WebBridge save param regular expression and the WebBridge save param attribute works. So I believe this video is very useful to you. So the one key point that we have to remember is why we use the WebBridge save param attribute and where we use the WebBridge regular expression. So the first point here is where do we use the WebBridge save param? So this WebBridge save param function is primarily used to capture data based on HTML or XML attributes and tag structures, whereas the WebBridge save param regular expression allows you to define any complex patterns using regular expressions to extract data from the server's response. So that's the key thing that you have to learn out of this video. So with that, I come to an end, and I believe this video will be very useful to you. So until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and your favorite Little Slaw YouTube channel. Take care and bye bye.